This shit ain't nothing to me, man.
This is Boxing Before Dark.
Boxing.
Boxing.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang.
Before.
Boxing.
Boxing Before
Dark. This is Boxing Before Dark.
All right, let's fucking boogie. I always like to say something like that so I know where to cut things off. And then I can say, Boxing Before Dark. Do you wonder what happened before the cutoff? Man, there's a really special place called Patreon you should go to. LVX Media Net. It's the same as everywhere else. Ooh, shit. Shanada, Lynn. It's NHL playoff time. How's that going?
Ask Lynn what the series is at right now.
I don't want to discuss it. I'm facing game 2 and after we're done here, as of the time of recording this. It may not have been the best strategy after the second period with a 1-goal lead to have 2 shots in an entire period and therefore blow said lead and then lose in overtime. But we move.
Yeah.
Lose in
the next...
double overtime? Triple overtime?
No, it was like 20 seconds to go in the first overtime.
Was it?
So
Anyways, I just know McJesus got the assist, so all is right in the world.
Yeah, like 4 of our guys went to McDavid, and like nobody decided to just track Tricycle, who was just wide open at the back, and it's like,
and who's fucking good.
It's all right. Game 2. On to the next. You just water under the bridge.
Sure.
CFL season.
Yeah, Riders won the home opener yesterday. But our running back already upper body injury in the first 5 minutes of play. Garbage. Oh, for anyone who doesn't know, the CFL is the Canadian Football League. The rules are different. And for our international audience, I know there's quite a few of you, they do worldwide tryouts now. So there's guys from around the world on some of the teams.
Yeah, I know a lot of big boys come out of like the Eastern Europe.
There's like Frenchmen, there's Germans, there's an Australian kicker. They had a Japanese kicker, but he didn't last very long. I think he legitimately had trouble kicking over the lineman. He probably wasn't used to people so tall. Not to be stereotypical, but
I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. But no, I like the international tryouts. It's fun. So in the CFL, you have to have a certain percentage of Canadians, but the world guys will count towards that percentage. They can't say it, but it's basically a percentage of not Americans. Because the Americans usually... Yeah, well, the American talent pool is just way deeper for football.
Okay.
So they don't want people just having only Americans. So.
Yeah, a lot of national leagues are like that. Like, I follow, for soccer, I follow the city that I lived in when I lived in Korea. So I keep up with that team, and like they have international players, but you can only have a certain amount of not Koreans playing at a time.
Yeah. It's just it's another strategy thing. We've also got one more man on the field and one less down.
I would liken this difference, to put it into combat sports terms, the difference between Muay Thai and kickboxing. It's like it's
pretty different.
They're very similar, but they're also very different.
Yeah, the 3 downs makes a big difference.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Field's also bigger too. It's wider and longer.
Yeah, that's why
we have a 55-yard line instead of a 50-yard line.
Oh, shit. If you want to learn a little bit more about Muay Thai and kickboxing, ultimate effing
check
casuals.
Out UFC.
Yeah. The ultimate fucking casuals.
You gotta put me on when new Ryzen card's coming up. I want to go to a Ryzen card.
Yeah, I've been meaning to keep up
and
with Ryzen.
In Tokyo.
Yeah,
because someone on the Discord told me there's one coming up in Sapporo, but I'm not flying to Sapporo to go to a Ryzen fight. Last one was in Korea, I think. So
that sail travel method looks really cool.
Yeah, but it's a pretty long plane ride to get to the ferry for me. I have to fly to Fukuoka.
Oh shit.
Well, I guess I could train, but even on the bullet train, it's long.
I was looking at taking a trip to UK, and I wanted to stop in Ireland at some point. And I was like, well, I don't want to fucking fly there. That sounds lame. So I was looking at, there's a ferry from Liverpool to...
Nice. I love boats.
Yeah.
I'd much rather take a ferry.
Well, shall we get to it?
Yes.
Navarrete. His fight is officially a no contest. Noted Suarez truthers. Rejoice.
I'm a little surprised they changed this one, to be honest.
I am too. The fight went for the required amount of time for it to be taken to the cards and be scored. So I don't know why they undid it. Doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I guess they decided it was caused by a punch. The cut was caused by a punch and it stopped the fight.
So then that would be ruled a TKO.
I think the argument is that at the time he was told it was from a headbutt, so he fought different than he would have.
Oh.
He might have gone for the knockout. The doctor might have also not stopped it yet, because it was a bad cut, but it wasn't
in the eye.
Kim Zhu bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about these changing things because of video replay.
Yeah, I'm not really fussed with it.
If you can change that one, why the fuck didn't Tank Davis end up with an L, or at least a no contest?
Yeah.
Because he's a bigger name.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's not good. It's one more way they can bring corruption in, right?
Well, this is boxing.
I'm just saying, I don't know if I fuck with changing things after the fact. If you get it wrong, you get it wrong. Everybody's lived with it until now, so.
Oh, that's an awful segue. Don't say that. Mike McCallum. Who is this and passes away?
You don't know who Mike McCallum is? The body snatcher?
I might. I'm not sure.
He's British, isn't he, Lynn?
I don't know.
Are you?
I haven't heard of him, so don't ask me.
Really?
I can look
Okay.
this up.
Well, I know who heard him. Mike McCallum was really good. He was a really good fighter in the 90s, I want to say. I didn't take any notes. I thought everybody would know who Mike McCallum is. So he has 5 losses, but was never stopped. His nickname was the Body Snatcher, because he just fucking loved body shots, and he was real good at them. And he is in the Boxing Hall of Fame. He was inducted in 2003. Yeah. I am confusing him with someone else when I say he was hurt in his last fight. I don't think he was.
So he's only
5
fights?
No, 5 losses.
Oh, okay.
49 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw.
Wow.
Yeah, he held the 3 weight classes. I should have looked this up better. He had the super welterweight, middleweight, and light heavyweight titles at different times. And he fought at cruiserweight, but I don't think he ever won a title. His last 2 fights were losses to Roy Jones Jr. and James Toney. So
that's quite.
But he was at the top. Yeah. Yeah, no, you guys should go look up Mike McCallum. He was real good. Like, not slick's kind of the word. Like, how do you describe Roberto Duran? Like, he was good and talented, but he wasn't flashy, I guess. If you don't know what you're looking at, they look like brawlers.
Yes.
But they're not.
Yeah, I know the type.
That's how I feel about Mike McCallum, too. So, people should go look him up. He's good. Plus, the Body Snatcher is a hell of a nickname.
Dillian White
And
was the Body Snatcher?
yeah, he was. But Mike McCallum was the original Body Snatcher. Anyways, he wasn't that old. A little sad that he died youngish. Apparently, he was originally from Jamaica and lived in New York. I had the wrong guy.
Yes.
He's not from the UK.
Yes. Also, I was having also on the topic of the UK, I was just having a quick look at his box work to see if there's any names I mentioned, and he beat Steve Collins and Michael Watson. So there you go. Bit of the old Whitlaw.
He was just overshadowed by bigger names at the time that were
James
flashier,
Toney
like
or Roy Jones.
and Roy Jones Jr. Yeah, he had a draw. His draw was with James Toney, and then he lost to him later. R.I.P. to one of the Hall of Famers.
Yeah, one of the greats.
It sounds like he was a good guy too. He went into training afterwards, and people liked him. So
That's always good.
Yeah.
Easier to mourn someone who was cool.
yeah, exactly.
Well, that's speaking of mourning. Lomachenko officially announces his retirement.
I don't know if anyone's mourning. It's about fucking time.
It's
He's
a-
been holding
yeah.
that belt hostage forever. Forever.
So Rey Morataya gets elevated.
Like these elevations, make him fight for it.
You don't like email champs?
No.
Yeah, I prefer text as well. Lomachenko, man, now that the fever around him has died down, I've been able to appreciate him a lot more. Just because the fan base was rabid and it was
The fan base was toxic as fuck.
it was difficult to deal with.
But when he was the Matrix, like that Lomachenko
That
period,
stretch of time,
fucking amazing.
yeah, you can really see the way Bam says that's one of his idols, and like you can tell.
I think a lot of people idolize Lomachenko for good reason.
Yeah. I want to pull up his record because I feel like he didn't do all that much. Yeah, for as much as
didn't
people
fight-
liked him.
He didn't really fight that long in the pros.
No.
It says he's
took-
only got 21
Yeah.
fights.
Yeah. And I'm just looking over his resume. If you actually look at who he's beaten, it's not like anything special.
It's not.
There's a lot of good names, though.
Yeah, but they're not like
I think there is.
top names, are they?
Linares,
I mean-
Rigondeaux,
Jose Ramirez in 2013 was a good win.
good-ish.
Gary Russell Jr. in 2014, he was good.
Nicholas Walters in 2016 was an excellent win.
That absolute fucking ass kicking he put on Comey. I don't know if it's that good a win, but that was a fucking beatdown.
I would put the one above. One above it would be Cambosos, because Cambosos got
Oh yeah.
embarrassed.
I mean, he always gets embarrassed, but that's not the point, huh?
I mean, he beat some pretty good guys.
Yes. So there's one loss for sure that I don't think anybody can really claim.
The Salido loss
I was gonna say Teofimo.
is not. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant that is controversial. I was going the other way.
That
The
is
Salido loss was not a real loss. That was fucking bullshit. I'm not even a Lomachenko dick rider, but
was it because he came overweight?
the Salido one?
Yeah.
No, did you watch the fight?
I
Salido was
did.
so dirty.
Yeah.
So dirty.
Welcome to the pros, bitch. That's what that was. I'm not some fucking teenager from Estonia that you get to
Yeah,
rope
that's
up
true.
on. Man, that's what I don't. That is one thing I don't like. That I didn't like about the fan base was all this like, oh well, he had 5,000 amateur fights. I'm like, dude, he was beating up.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
beating up teenage boys.
Yeah.
That is not the flex that you think it is.
It's the opposite of a flex if you
Yeah.
stay in the amateurs too long.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't think Loma is nearly as good as his fans think he is.
No.
I don't know if he should be in the Hall of Fame, to be honest. He's gonna get in.
He will.
But I don't know if he really deserves that. but his talent was there. Like, nobody can deny that Lomachenko was fucking amazing to watch.
Yeah, I think that he was limited by being signed to Top Rank. That's what kept his resume pretty light. As great as the wins were, or like the way he looked in those wins, I should say.
But it is about time he officially left.
Yep.
Yeah. Bye, Lomachenko. See you later. Take your fucking fans with you.
Remaining retired. Yeah. You think they're all just gonna jump over to Usyk for his last couple fights?
No.
No?
No, I don't think so.
Are they gonna become Shakur fans?
Absolutely not. There's a particular aspect of Lomachenko that's different from Shakur Stevenson. That's why they wouldn't go from Lomachenko to Stevenson.
I know.
Yeah.
Who is the great white hope right now for slick boxers? There isn't really one, is there?
That's what I was gonna look up.
I can't think of any super slick defensive white guys right now.
Caleb Plant was as good as it got.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Pound for pound.
If I say Josh Padley, am I getting like blocked on the spot or like?
Nah. It's clear why you would.
There's not very many white guys on the pound for pound list right now.
Bivol and Beterbiev?
Bivol's pretty slick, I guess.
Yeah.
For his
also,
size.
for some reason, I don't know if they count as white. But
depends on how badly you need.
I mean, you can pretty clearly tell if you just look at them, though.
Yeah, but Bivol's half Korean.
Yeah, but aren't Koreans white? Like what?
No, they're.
Anyways.
Yeah, but that's
they're
dangerous
Asian,
territory.
But...
They're Asian.
Yeah. Carry on.
Yeah, moving on.
Keyshawn Blue weight.
Yeah, so this is one I wanted to bring up. As of right now, as of when we're chatting, he has not fought yet. So all we know is that he missed weight by 4 fucking pounds. Like, dude, you just won that title.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Did you not ask for the Navarrete special on the scale, or what happened here?
This is after what's been a pretty eventful week for him, where he was beefing with Mason at the presser, and then I'm fairly certain also there was like quotes coming out saying that he wasn't going to fight Moatella, and that he basically said that he wasn't going to unify with Moatella.
Oh,
and then like a day later he blows weight. So it's like, okay, right, what's going on here then? Like, hang on, I can bring that quote up. I'm fairly certain I'm not making this up. I definitely saw it.
To say he's not going to fight Abdullah Mason, though, that's...
No, it was Moatella.
Oh, Murataya.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, he said he wasn't going to unify with him.
Why?
Don't know.
Why would you not do that? That's a great...
Murataya is not that scary.
No, he's not. He just does things... He's just, like, really good at the fundamentals.
Yeah, hang on. So I brought it up on Twitter. The quote was, why would I want to go pay for another belt when I'm already paying for this belt? And it's like, huh? So yeah,
that makes sense.
So in the past day or two, he's basically said that he's not going to unify. He went off at a young prospect, and now he's blown weight. So it's been an eventful week for Keyshawn Davis.
Yeah. What I mean by it makes sense is, like, I understand his thinking. Who was it? Mayweather notoriously hated paying sanctioning fees. Canelo, for some reason, does it, but always talks about not liking it. So, I get the front. Like, why would I want to give up more of another share of my purse for,
I guess,
like something symbolic? But like, dude, the symbols,
because it gets you
bigger purses.
It gets you more money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's like, why would I want to pay for school to get a raise? Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
It's your job.
Yeah, continued education.
Well, like, I know a bunch of people went and got their masters after they had jobs because it bumped their pay a whole bunch.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Keyshawn's still
I guess
young,
maybe
though.
that's a bad example, but like in any trade, you have the same thing. Go get accredited for a new skill,
Yeah.
right? Like welder certificates for whatever, or
The accolades
not just
get
an
you paid.
academia thing. Yeah, exactly. Get another world title belt. You get paid whatever,
And
20% more.
You'll get into the position where you can negotiate with the sanctioning bodies. Like, if let's just, I'm moving house, so like real estate's on my mind at the moment. So like the realtor, their fee is 3%. So if that's what the sanctioning body takes out of your purse, then how about you tell them? How about I'm
Negotiate
giving
an extra
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, I'm giving you 2.5%, and you're gonna deal with it.
Or I want paid 10% more, and you
Yeah.
get 3% of 10% higher.
Yeah, same slice of a bigger pie,
Yeah.
whatever the case is.
But yeah.
Interesting. And going after Abdullah Mason,
Yeah. Yeah.
Who do I get mad at here?
Yeah.
Or whose side do I
don't
take?
know.
I don't really like any of the Davises, to be honest.
I might be going with Abdullah on this one.
I know there's a lot of Kishon fans over in the Discord, so we'll see. But obviously that belt is now vacant, so if Kishon wins, it stays vacant. And the number one ranking with the WBO, because there's no like interim or whatever champ, is Sam Noakes, and number 2 is Abdullah Mason. So
Ooh. World
Um,
War boxing before dark.
yep, I mean I like both guys, so either way I'm happy. But still, please don't make Sam Noakes fight Abdullah Mason.
Oh, but that's like mouth watering.
It's a good fight, but
It's
I know
really
for a
good.
fact Noakes is gonna get beat the fuck up. I don't want to see this.
When you put it like that.
Yeah, I'm not okay with this.
We gotta keep rolling here. Fucking
Yeah.
recent shit. We skipped this one last time, so here we are. Ohashi in Yokohama. Where is my... Here it is. So I only picked up 3 of them. I think Tsubasa was that one that you wanted, Shinato?
Yeah, that was actually like a really close fight.
Really? To get stopped in 8?
Yeah, but like, it was active the whole time and competitive, but clearly, I have it backwards in my head. I gotta look at their faces. Clearly Narai was better, and he was slowly just breaking down Hara.
Yeah.
But not in a sad beatdown way, in a like, how the fuck is Hara showing this much heart way? And they stopped it maybe a little too late. But it was a rematch and it was a good fight. Or I enjoyed watching it. I'm pretty sure it was a rematch. Yeah.
Stopped it late. Like, well, with...
They probably could have stopped in the 6th.
Okay, because with
But it wasn't
Shigeoki
terrible.
on the mind. It's like,
Yeah. It was not terrible, but clearly Narai was winning. But it was a good competitive fight, and I love a rematch. And they both had great fucking walkout costumes. So
You think they're in league with Mimi's?
no,
Mimi's person?
different kind of great. Mimi's person, I am 90% sure is actually super famous. Like, that's why they don't. But
wanna
I
be-
don't think they're a fashion designer. I think they're a super famous cosplayer.
Ah.
Is my theory that I have no basis for. So, the other 2 fights, to Kai was the main event, but that was just a round 1, like 6 punches
I was
thrown
gonna say,
knockout
speaking of not competitive, this fight was not
at all.
At all.
No, I have a theory though, and it might be completely wrong, but I think they're saving Takai for Nasukawa's first belt
First title.
attempt
Yeah.
because
Hold
they're
on.
both kickboxers.
What?
So he Takei fought last week before, and Nasukawa fights this week. I wonder if the next isn't going to be the two of them, depending how Nasukawa looks. My conspiracy theory.
Oh, put that on the Inoue MJ.
It'd be big.
Yeah.
I don't know if they want that one outside the country though.
Where's
Takei Nasukawa in Japan?
Yeah, that's huge because it's Japanese kickboxing.
Yeah. But the co-main was a much better fight. It's Nunez. Yeah.
Versus Masanori Rikishi.
Couldn't remember the other guy's name. Nunez won, but Rikishi tried the whole damn time. And it was a good fight. It was fun. Did you watch this one, Leo?
Yeah, I did. I don't remember the Takei fight because there's not a lot to remember. But this one, I enjoyed all of it. I remember wondering if Nunez has enough to stop Rikishi. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like in the mid lates, I was like, could you be stepping it up a little bit here, or
I
are you
think
already doing
Rikishi's
it?
just tough.
Yeah, you're already doing all you can, and he's too good to be taken out like that.
Also, Rikishi looks like a real life Namor, so I always cheer for him. But
A real life what?
it was a good fight though. Namor, Marvel's Aquaman.
Ah,
Have you seen a picture of him?
no.
Okay, I gotta Google you a picture of Namor. I always forget how to spell his name. Yeah. Anyways, it was good. I would recommend watching it.
Yeah. Also, check out Takei.
I guess.
Just to see what's coming up in the bantamweights. If you care about the bantamweights.
Everybody should care about the bantamweights.
Sorry to jump in here. So Andreas Hale, who is a staff writer at ESPN, while we're recording this pod, has just tweeted, according to sources, the Kershawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos fight scheduled for tomorrow night is off after the two sides were unable to come to an agreement following Davis missing weight. Abdullah Mason versus Jeremiah Nakafila is the new main event.
Good.
4 pounds is a lot.
That is a lot.
I do not blame De Los Santos for not wanting to give up 4 pounds.
So if that's legit, that fight's off. So, but the dude works at ESPN, so I would say that's pretty credible.
It's probably off. That kind of sucks.
So Mason now main event though, so at least we get something out of it.
Yeah. Man, I would have wanted Keyshawn and Abdullah Mason to like each other because I like them both. Anything more for the Ohashi card?
No, I don't think so.
All right. May 30th, Matchroom. This was on DAZN.
Yes.
Oh, shit. The main event, just to get it done quickly, Khalil Ko beats Manuel Gallegos in 5.
Yes.
It was
a corner stoppage. Yes. Did you watch the fight? Did you watch the fight?
I did.
Yeah.
That is one of the worst broken noses with one punch I have ever seen. That was disgusting.
Coach Jab just beat him the fuck up for a few rounds, and then Gallegos got pulled out by his corner. That's all that happened.
Good. They should have.
Yeah.
That's what they're there for.
He had no answers after halfway through the fight.
Yeah, that was the sentiment I had going into the 4th round. I was like, what? I tried to block the screen so I couldn't see if it was a stoppage or not, and then I ended up seeing it anyway. And it's like, okay, well, we're coming up on round 4. I didn't know when it was. I'm like, round 4, this can't go on much longer, can it? Because somebody, the ref, the fucking corner, somebody's got to step in and stop this. The dude's face is being rearranged, and that's we don't need to see anymore.
So yeah, Khalil Ko gets his revenge. They were saying on the feed that apparently he had some illness going into their first fight, so there's your reason for why he got beaten up that night, I guess.
Yeah, they were saying rhabdo, I think, right?
I don't recall exactly what they said, but I know for a fact, I'm pretty sure they mentioned he was hospitalized by it or something like that, if I recall correctly. So, yeah, we'll see. But I mean, he won using just a jab, so I mean, at least he's got that going there.
It's like a piston, though.
Oh,
That
looked
like
good.
I will say, he didn't have much else outside the jab, but goddamn, his jab was good. Like he was I mean, to be fair, it didn't help that Gallegos was just walking straight into it, but like anytime that jab popped out, it was like fucking Gallegos up.
Yeah.
Like it was, yeah, insane. Kind of like you know how like Baturbeyev's jab is kind of like that, where like it's not even a power punch, but it still hurts you. That's kind of like what he was just doing to Gallegos. It was like mental. So we'll see who he fights next.
Murodjan Akhmadaliev, TKO 8 over Luis Castillo. Similar situation. It's weird because this was like I felt like a dominant performance from MJ, but it wasn't spectacular.
I felt like if that MJ shows up against Inoue, he's just gonna get
He's toast.
beat. Yeah. He didn't impress me.
I don't know, maybe he was taking it easy because he has something lined up. All he's got to do is just muddle through the win, and you don't have to worry about your next fight.
Yeah, I guess. Honestly, there isn't much to talk about in this fight. It wasn't fun or exciting. MJ won.
Yeah.
Just quickly on MJ. I still am not entirely sure why he's just been given this Inoue opportunity. Like, I know for a fact there's no one Inoue can fight, but like this dude lost to Tapalas and he's fought no one since. Like, huh?
There's just nobody else left. Who else at that weight class would you have Inoue fight?
Yeah, that's why I mentioned that. But like, still, I don't know. I mean, you got Picasso's there. He's a fighter.
Picasso's one up, isn't he?
I don't think he has.
On Boxer, he lets him at
Okay.
Super Bantam, so there you go.
Picasso sucks, though. He's way worse than MJ.
I don't know, I've never seen him box, but he's ranked number 5 on...
I would prefer MJ over Picasso.
I don't know. I mean, I know he stopped whoever really, so it doesn't really matter, but still.
Yeah, but like, Picasso's fought nobody.
Same as Sam fucking Goodman. Another guy who doesn't rate.
Yeah.
Goodman is never getting another shot.
No.
Ever.
Nor should he. If you're gonna be fucking around.
We get on that.
Stupid.
Oh. I think MJ's loss to Tapalas is... I think people make more out of it than we should. I think the only reason people do make such a big deal about it is because we're talking about MJ in the context of fighting Inoue. So a loss is going to look a lot worse than it really is. People have bad nights. Happens all the time. I'm coping right now, hoping that the MJ fight's good.
Those scores in the MJ Tapalas fight are all over the fucking place.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
118, 110 when the other two have it 113, 115 the other way. That's crazy.
Makes perfect sense. Totally.
Yep.
Anyways.
Yeah. Enough of that. MJ.
Beck the bully.
Yeah. Golden Boy, also on the zone. Also on May 30th. The co-main, Eric Priest, he looked good. We were talking about this. I think it was on B-Sides. We were talking about Luis Arias being a solid test. This is a good step up for Eric, and he answered the call perfectly. It's a really dominant decision.
Yeah, he looked good. I don't know if I've seen Eric Priest before, but
you have on undercards before, but just not very memorable. He's not flashy. Bektemir Melikuziev beats Darius Fulgham. The best part of
why
waking
is
up,
Beck so stupid?
he did not have his cup of Folgers in the morning. I don't know.
Like,
Dude forgot his brain.
He just makes such stupid fucking decisions. I want to like Beck. I really do. But he starts winning, and then he starts just being stupid and making it a close fight. Like, every fucking time. And he started losing the middle rounds and starts showboating. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Good
He
stuff.
also definitely still has PTSD from the Gabe Rosado knockout. Because every time the guy was near the ropes, he'd attack. But if he got in a corner, Beck would back off. And it made me laugh every single time. Beck does not throw punches in corners anymore.
Understandable.
I will never forget that knockout. I was watching alone in my basement, and I jumped off my couch and fucking screamed at the TV when it happened. But yeah, Beck could be so good if he wasn't so stupid. My
And
summary of
That's
this
why
fight.
he'll never be great, because he won't stop being
Which is-
stupid.
Which is also why I like watching him, because I know something interesting will happen.
Funny part is, he still won this fight by unanimous decision and dropped Fulgham in round 12.
Yeah, but the only reason he won is because he dropped Fulgham.
Yeah, win to win.
Pretty sure on every scorecard it would have been a draw otherwise.
114, 113.
No, it would have been. Well, it was. Oh,
No,
yeah,
it
no, it
would've-
would have been.
Oh, right, because Beck got point deduction for being
holding.
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just weird. I didn't really watch this fight, but I recall I watched like a round or two at one point. But
It was fun at the time, like being in the chat at the same time sometimes makes these like sillier fights a lot more entertaining. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like talking about Bektamir being a fucking train wreck Demir is
Yeah,
it's better than just yelling at my television.
it does make it more fun to chat with people while you're watching. Because if I'd have watched it by myself, I probably just would have gotten angry at Beck
Yeah.
for being stupid. I wouldn't have enjoyed it. I'd have just been yelling at my TV in a not fun way. Like, what the fuck are you doing, you goddamn idiot? Like,
Yep.
but I don't know who's at that weight class. That's too big for me. Who should Beck fight next?
Who should
Wow,
he fight
if-
next?
Yeah,
okay.
168.
Yeah,
What's that?
super middle.
Middleweight? Super middle.
Yeah. He is 20th on BoxRec. So take that for whatever you want. William Skull.
Oh no.
And I say that unironically. They deserve each other.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it would probably be Skull's toughest test, so.
It would be. And
Not that that's a high bar,
stylistically,
but-
it would be a hard test for Bektamir as well. So this is a pretty
You know,
decent
honestly,
win-win.
what would be kind of fun would be Beck versus Plant. I think it'd be
Plant-
fun.
I think Plant could take that.
Yeah, but do you think Beck's gonna want to wait out until like halfway through next year when Plant decides he's gonna come back?
No,
Like-
but I think if Beck catches Plant, Plant's chin's gonna go and Beck will win.
And Plant's legs aren't as good as they used to be.
No.
Shall we?
And Plant,
Shall we? Yeah.
This is a good transition point.
Yes.
So the PBC on Prime card on the 31st. Some quick ones. Kermel Moten versus Rennie Mastrapa. Gets the job done. Wasn't his most spectacular performance, but this is what you want from these young guys. Stay active. Get the work done. Get some rounds in. Yoenli Hernandez beats the shit out of Kyron Davis. Fucking one-sided. It was a sweep on all three cards. Not a whole lot more to say. I don't think anyway, unless you have something for Yoenli.
no.
Jamal.
Was that an upset? No,
No.
not an upset. Never mind. Wrong, Davis. Why do they all have K names? I hate that.
Yeah, there's like 6 of them, and only 3 of them are related.
Really? I thought they were all related.
Jamal Charlo stops Tommy Lamana in 6. Charlo looked pretty good for his second long layoff return. I thought he looked all right. Still a little rusty.
I thought he looked like shit. To be honest,
it wasn't vintage Charlo, but he looked better than he did against Benavidez, which is saying something.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, the Benavidez
I don't know.
performance was pretty crappy.
I think the Charlos are both washed at this point.
Probably.
What's the other one even doing these days after he lost to Canelo?
He's talking about. He's starting to talk about his own comeback.
Trying to stale. Go ahead.
No, they did a lot of soul searching, I think, during this time off. They patched up their brotherly relationship.
Tried very hard to stay out of jail.
Yeah, succeeded apparently.
I don't know how. Couple other things that I've heard they've done, they probably should have been in jail for a little while.
As far as I'm aware, Jamal Charlo, the one that just fought, he's had substance abuse problems, specifically with alcohol. But that's about it. Some mental health issues, clearly. So between those two things, the other Charlo, Jermel, the one that fought Canelo, that's the one that was abusing wait staff, fucking abusing his wife, I believe.
Okay. I didn't realize it was only one of them. Their names are too close. I get them confused.
They're almost exactly the same. Just a single letter difference. All right.
Okay, I take it back about this one.
Yeah.
But the other one probably should have been in jail.
This one does sad boy shit. The other one does mad boy shit. Yeah.
There.
Now, moving up to Bekdemir's next opponent, Caleb Plant. How he recovers from this, I don't know. Resendiz got bopped by Elijah Garcia, who is nobody to write home about. And he looked good, though. Like, he just
Resendiz looked good.
He had answers for everything Plant was trying to do. Pretty much from the 4th or 5th round, it was a completely one-sided fight.
How it ended up a fucking split decision, I'll never know. Fucking David Sutherland. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I just had a look at Sutherland's scorecard. So after the first 4 rounds, he gave Plant round 7 and then rounds 10, 11, and 12.
What the fuck?
Plant lost all 3 of those last rounds.
Absolutely.
100%.
What
Yeah,
the
I
fuck
don't
is
even.
that?
I don't
He
even.
started doing the math and realized the guy he was paid to let win was losing.
Yes. The other 2 judges, Steve Weisfeld gave Plant the first 4 and then the rest of the fight to Resendiz, and Max DeLuca gave the first 5 to Plant. The only round he gave to Resendiz was round 3, and then the rest of the fight was a clear shutout for Resendiz. So at least 2 of the judges were competent.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, Sutherland can be. It's just, like, you can tell when they're turning in their bot cards, like the pre-filled ones.
Yep.
That's...
David Sutherland's bad for that, though.
Yeah. Cheatham's not that much better. Was he on this panel? His name is...
He was on a different card.
Okay.
Cheatham was on the Beck card, wasn't he?
I think so.
I might be wrong. Let me check who those were. Yeah. Wait. That can't be right. Were those 2 fights on the same night?
Yeah. Oh, no. The Bekdemir was the night before, wasn't it?
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Because they got Steve Weisfeld, David Sutherland, and Tim Cheatham on the Beck fight.
Yeah, both were in Vegas. So.
Oh, maybe he just walked down the street.
But yeah.
But yeah, Cheatham was on the Beck fight.
What's next for Resendiz? Does he stay at 168? Because, I don't know, did he look undersized compared to Plant?
Plant's really big, though.
Okay.
Being undersized compared to Plant, I don't know that means you can go down. Does it?
I would say he's like Canelo sized. Maybe he's a little bit more beefy, but he's not very tall for the weight.
Yeah. I don't know who Resendiz should fight
Well,
next.
Resendiz is the WBA interim super middleweight champion, so somebody will want to fight him for that.
I remember we talked about this. Like, I could have sworn it was for the regular title.
Boxlek is saying it's the interim, so unless Boxlek's incorrect.
Chances are it's more correct than my brain.
Yeah, apparently Plant picked it up when he beat McCombie, so...
Man, I could have sworn it was... They said regular on the broadcast.
Boxlek is saying WBA interim world super middleweight champion.
Excellent.
So, I'm going off what Boxlek said.
Thanks, Boxlek.
Give Saras his shot.
Yo, actually, Resendiz Saras. That's actually pretty good.
I mean,
I don't know who'd watch it, but
I mean, I'd have more interest in it than I did for Resendiz v Plant. I'll say that much.
I mean, because Saras is
a fighter.
He is one of the
still
fighters
undefeated, isn't he?
Saras lost to Munguia in the rematch.
Who was on Peds.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, that fight hasn't been overturned.
We won't overturn this one, but we're gonna overturn fucking Nav.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I assume they're waiting for the B test to pop as well. Right?
Yeah, they'll be going.
Munguia gets his due process, but I mean, once they overturn that, Saras is still undefeated.
Well, assuming they do. This is boxing.
Yeah.
I mean...
They didn't overturn...
Conor Ben and that whole thing just proves that, like, there's no consistency in how any of this works. So, we'll see.
Exogenous testosterone metabolites is pretty hard to defend.
That's not tainted meat.
Well, we'll see.
Doesn't sound like tainted meat to me.
I mean...
But... Even if it is still officially a loss, I think Saras deserves his shot at some sort of title. He earned it.
He can fight the winner of Simpson v Zufo for the European. That's probably more his level.
Nobody's going to want to fight Resendiz anyways.
I mean, yeah, he's Mexican, so...
Low risk, or high risk, low reward.
Yeah.
Resendiz versus
Well, I wouldn't
William
say
Skull.
low reward. He's the
I never want to see Skull fight again. Ever.
I'm trying to put him in with people that'll beat him up so that he won't fight again.
Alright, perfect. Iglesias versus Skull. Let's get it on.
Yeah.
Oh, Battle of Cuba.
Iglesias is the new school Cuban.
Yep.
He could probably
Brutality.
catch Skull, though.
I think he would.
He would destroy Skull. It wouldn't even be close.
That could be fun.
I stand by my conspiracy that Skull was given the script. Like, Canelo Bud is already set, so, you know, do whatever it takes.
Possibly.
Do whatever you want to just fucking... But you're not winning, so you better make sure of that.
I stand by that if Skull was the A side, he'd have won.
Even for that nasty-ass performance?
Breaking Down was a champion for years.
Oh my. Also a Cuban.
That was the old style. Anything more for the PBC card?
No, I do think, as much as I was talking otherwise, Plant's gonna fight Charlo. I don't think it matters that he lost.
I think so too. I absolutely
Charlo
agree.
didn't look very good. Plant didn't look very good. Let him go fight. people will watch it.
All right. So before we take a quick break, I'm gonna have to work in a second one because we're at an hour right now, and housekeeping.
I did talk for a little bit before.
It's supposed to hit around 20 to 30 minutes, 25 to 35 minutes. Anyway, that's not gonna make it. Wherever you're listening to this, if you could hit us with a follow or subscribe, whatever the button says, it'd be really helpful. That way you'll never miss another episode of Boxing Before Dark or Boxing B-Sides, because they're on the same fucking dealio. Man, speaking of the same fucking dealio, the shop.lvx.be, if you want to catch some threads. I'm making stuff like every now and then something new is going to go up. 1 or 2 new things go up. So poke in, see what you like, and get yourself hooked up. Help us out a little bit. And if you don't want these fucking advertisements, patreon.lvx.be. That's where you get signed up for Boxing for Dummies is what I have it named right now. So that's fun. The MMA one is Ultimate Funeral Catering. I'm pretty happy with it.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right, we'll be right back. Support for this episode is from Malwarebytes. In today's digital world, threats are everywhere. From sneaky spyware to intrusive viruses, your computers and mobile devices are constantly at risk. Losing your personal data, financial information, or even having your device held ransom is a nightmare no one wants to face. And that's why you need to look at Malwarebytes. It's the ultimate shield for digital life. Malwarebytes provides powerful real-time antivirus and anti-malware protection, keeping computers and smartphones safe from the latest threats. For those with 10 or more devices, Malwarebytes has you covered. From laptops and tablets to smartphones, Malwarebytes family plans provide comprehensive protection you can trust. Don't wait until it's too late. Secure your digital world with Malwarebytes and get the peace of mind you deserve, knowing that your data and your devices are safe. Go to mwb.lvx.be and get 50% off your subscription today. Here's a little hint, you can reuse that code later down the line with a new account. Keep saving for yourself and help us out a little bit too in the process. Support for this episode is from Ramen Bay. Ever have that ramen craving hit hard? You know the feeling. Sometimes you want that rich, savory broth and those perfectly chewy noodles, but you don't have time for all the fuss. Well, say hello to Ramen Bay. They've taken the best ingredients for ramen and freeze-dried them for ultimate convenience and incredible flavor. Imagine, vibrant vegetables, flavorful proteins, and aromatic seasonings, all ready to rehydrate into a bowl of pure satisfaction. No chopping or long simmering, just add hot water and a healthy spritz of Ramen Bay. Because the ingredients are freeze-dried and vacuum sealed, they lock in taste, giving you a quick and easy meal that doesn't compromise on quality or flavor. So, the next time the ramen urge hits, don't forget Ramen Bay. It's your new, not-so-secret ingredient to a delicious, hassle-free situationship anytime. Hit up the Bay for ramen and chill at ramen.lvx.be or use code LVX10 at checkout. Get yourself 10% off every order and help us out a little bit when you do. That's Ramen Bay. ramen.lvx.be. Hey, did you know that our little bee buddies are having a bit of a tough time recently? They're really important for so much of our food. Without any bees, we're going to have a lot less yummy stuff. The good news is that you can help the bees while also helping us. Support for this episode is from Project Honeybees. Every purchase adopts a queen bee, who will have her own colony if she doesn't already have one, and she'll be kept in a sanctuary in various places around the world. My adopted queen, who I named Queen Spider, she was found in a restaurant trash bin out back, but the name Queen Spider, that's a story for another time. So if you want to be a bee hero, would that be Beero? Check out bees.lvx.be and get a look at all the lovely gift ideas. There's bracelets, necklaces, earrings, a lot of jewelry stuff. Use code LEO33862 at checkout to help keep the bees buzzing. Buzz, buzz, motherfuckers. All right. Wasn't that fun? Buzz, buzz, motherfuckers.
I do like the bee advertisement.
Yeah. Those actually do make really good gifts.
I could see it.
I got one for my nephew. It's a little stuffy that's reversible. It's a blue bee that's sad,
Ooh,
or it's a yellow bee that's happy.
nice.
It's good stuff. Speaking of good stuff, this is not it. Lucas Brown versus David Padovan. I
don't know who either of these guys
we
are.
do not have a lot going on this week. We're getting to the bottom of the barrel
Yes.
here. Yeah.
Yes.
So
There's not even any random UK card I can bring up.
that says a lot. That we're talking about
Jesus,
Lucas
these
Brown,
two,
and there's no Brit slop to throw in.
Yep.
these two both look like they are fighting it from prison. Like if you look at their box recs, these look like
I
scary
wouldn't
dudes.
put it beyond at this point.
I think
They are
Lucas
Australian.
Brown was a bouncer.
I'm
a
not
bar.
sure on that,
Eh,
but that does sound
Anyways.
about right.
yeah, main thing to point out here: Lucas Brown, 31-6. David Padovan, 3-0. I'm sorry, what?
What?
What the fuck am I looking at? Uh-huh.
Also, this man looks like he's 40.
And he's how old?
It doesn't say on box rec.
Padovan or Brown?
Padovan.
I can have a look.
It doesn't really matter. I just mean he is not a new young prospect.
At 3-0. Hot commodity coming out of Australia. Oh, shit. Moving on. Amir Khan Promotions on
What?
the zone.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yep, I didn't either.
I didn't know he even promoted.
Yeah, the headline is Andrew Tabiti versus Jacob Dixon. I believe this is happening in Ghana.
Yes, I have to
It's
say
on
that.
June 13th. Same
Oh,
day as
Jesus.
Lucas Brown.
That could be cool. I like watching the international ones more just to see what the atmosphere and the crowd is like,
Yeah,
to be honest.
Tabiti's okay. I believe this is good. This should be a cruiserweight fight. That's where Tabiti's fought most of his career, but it might be heavy just because he's been out for a bit. And I'm not sure who Jacob Dixon is, but 14-1.
I had a quick look just now. The only fight he had outside of Ghana, he went to France and got stopped in the first round by Albert Ramirez, who is now a light heavyweight with Eye of the Tiger. So that doesn't bode well for his chances in this fight.
Yeah, so we know what this is for Tabiti. This is a little get back for him.
How many rounds do we reckon? Over or under one?
I'm gonna set it at 3.5. That's the over under for me.
Alright. Who else is on this card? Oh, Howard Davies is here.
Is he really?
Yes.
Oh,
I
only
thought
took
he
the headline.
retired after he got absolutely destroyed by Ad Hazim, but apparently he's still fighting.
He's with Amir Khan now.
I mean, he'll probably get cashed out in the UK. He still has a name somehow. It's like he's basically like he's like the 140 equivalent of what Ollie Harrison used to be. He just loses every fight, but he somehow has a name, so he keeps getting fights.
Ah, I know the type.
Yeah. Yes. I like a British Cambosis when you think about it. Martin Glatner is also apparently on this card. Only 2 months after he fought Bill and Smith.
So it
I
seems
died-
that the
yeah.
Brit slap was taken to Ghana for this.
I mean, it's a Howard Davies. That's about as Brit slop as you get. Though apparently this fight is listed at welterweight, so I guess he's going up to 147 now. That's about what we're going to get out of that card.
That's Amir Khan on the zone. There ain't shit else going on the 13th. So if you need boxing in your life, you just have to have something. This is.
I
where
bet
it's
you
at.
the clothes in Ghana are gonna be great.
Ooh, I bet they'll be super colorful. That'll be fun. Moving on to the 14th. Zanfer Promotions. This one's happening in Hermosillo, in Mexico. The co-main event, which I pick up because RJ tagged Camila Anae Zamorano Encinas. So we're going with Camila Encinas. RJ Tech versus Mika Iwakawa. It's for a secondary title at 105, I believe. Which is, or I think it's less than
Adam.
105. Yeah, it's.
I think it's 100.
Wow, that's fucking small.
It's so tiny.
I just
To
looked
do-
at this. What? Sure.
I used to do karate with a girl who wrestled at 100 pounds or less. And I was like,
I'm not. Yeah.
she was so good, but I could beat her every time because you just grab her and throw her across the fucking room. She weighs 100 pounds. Like,
I just looked at Encinas' Boxrec page. So she's 11-0. Okay, nothing too suspicious. But she's 17. Huh?
yeah, she's Mexican.
Yeah, they start
Apparently
early.
she started boxing at 15, which is crazy.
Yeah, she had been boxing long before that. Just they're allowed to turn pro at 15.
Yeah.
She's
They were
fighting a
college
41-year-old.
Japanese, So yeah, we got a 17 versus a 41-year-old. I don't know why this is a fight.
Because Mexico.
It's the
Yeah.
WBC International atom weight,
Atom. What even is?
100
I
pounds.
don't care.
To be honest, this
Anyone
one's
know who the
probably
current
not-
WBC World Atom Weight Champion for females is? Because if so,
I-
you're lying.
I don't watch the women,
I
especially not that small.
This is a lot more time than I really thought we were gonna be spending
Yeah.
on these two.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Okay, moving
well.
on.
Yeah, Juan Francisco Estrada versus Kareem Arce Lugo. It's a decent fight. It's at 118. Estrada's moving up.
Is it a decent fight?
I think if this is Kareem Arce, not who I thought it was. So no, I don't think so.
I mean, Estrada should knock this guy out quick.
It's at 118
Yeah.
though, and Estrada was already kind of undersized at 115.
Fair, but also it's Estrada versus
Who cares?
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah.
I had a
Like-
quick look at Lugo. The only name I recognize is someone that Shinata should know. He got stopped in the 9th round by David Contreras.
Yeah, Contreras is actually good though, or was for a little while.
Yeah.
He only has the
So-
one loss to Nakatani. Let's not act like that's a big shade.
I wasn't saying he was bad. I was just saying that Shinata would know him because he lost to Nakatani.
Yes. I think most people know him, don't they? No?
I'm bored. If you'd
Okay.
be surprised.
But
I
that's-
forget how people don't watch my weight classes.
Yeah. so
Anyways, I suspect Estrada will knock this guy out.
that's,
Yes.
that's probably the point. Is to get him on the 118 radar. Tenshin,
Estrada needs to retire though.
Tenshin Asukawa
Sorry.
needs opponents.
Ugh.
Moving on. Also on the 14th, Samson. This is I can't find an American broadcaster for this, but it's on TYC Sports, Argentina. Nonito Donaire versus Andres Campos, also at 118.
I really like Donaire, but he's way past it. That being said, he should knock out some no-name Argentinian, right?
You would think.
Probably.
He's not Argentinian.
He's not.
Where is he from?
He,
No,
Chile.
He's from Chile. He fought who did he? Sonny Edwards. That's where I remember him.
I mean,
But he
Donaire
makes
should still
weapons
win.
Donaire should win.
Yeah.
yes. It should not be too difficult.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. So, the only thing worth knowing is this is going to be Donaire's first fight in almost 2 years. So, could be something else. We'll see.
Lame. Stay retired, dude.
Donaire's good on comms. I
Yes.
don't know why he doesn't just stick to comms.
Some people just can't quit boxing. It happens.
Well, it's his wife. Donaire is the most pussy-whipped person on the planet.
Good lord. It's rough.
But it's so bad. It's so bad.
So bad. Fucked up like the tail end of his career because of it.
Yeah.
Good
Like,
stuff.
I'm all for men loving their wives more than they maybe should. Donaire needs to get his balls back and just retire.
Speaking of getting the balls back, Matchroom on June 14th, George Kambosos is going to be fighting Richardson Hitchens. Some stuff. The only one that I picked up that I was like really, I picked anything up that had a secondary title. Ernesto Mercado versus Jonathan Montrell at super light. Alexis Barrier versus Ronnie Hines at heavyweight.
There's a Canadian.
Yes,
French
I actually
Canadian,
watched Barrier's last fight. I don't recall. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that was the Rocky Hernandez v. Javon on the card. He was fighting some fat Mexican. He looked. Well, he had a performance. I don't recall much. I just recall he got tagged pretty badly at one point, but he very clearly won that fight. And Mercedes pulled out after 6 rounds. No idea who his opponent is, but this is going to be his his second fight outside of Canada. His second fight was in the US in a sports center. But this is probably going to be the toughest test of his career. We'll see how he looks.
14-0. Can't be that terrible, right?
I've got a draw on the record to a 9-4 opponent. So I mean, oh wait, no, you're talking about well, we'll see.
Ronnie Hines can't be that terrible, right?
I mean, he's an American heavyweight. I wouldn't have high hopes. No, 6'6" southpaw. You never know.
He's not even an American heavyweight. He's a French Canadian.
Barrier
Talk about
or
Hines, Barrier.
Hines is American.
Barrier.
Yeah, Barrier is Canadian. He's also a southpaw. So 2 southpaw heavyweights here. So southpaw lovers.
Can't be that bad, right?
It could be pretty bad.
It can be okay. Please, Hines, do something. I need
It's probably going to
any
be
sliver of hope.
better. It's going to be better than Clinton's versus Kambosos.
Or Cruz v. Machiro.
Andy
also
Cruz
on
isn't bad to watch. I don't mind Andy
I
Cruz.
am like the #1 Andy Cruz hater in the Discord, so I will be watching this fight, praying that Machiro knocks him out.
17. How many knockouts out of 17 fights?
6.
6.
6.
Not many.
But wait, he is on a 2-fight knockout streak.
2-fight knockout streak.
Yep.
About to become 3.
I hope so.
Oh, he's only ever really fought in Kuriku and Hall. I don't know who
Let me tap
Machiro is.
Hopium.
Yeah, I've never heard of him.
He's fought outside of Japan a couple times. He fought in
Australia.
Newcastle. That's Australia. And Incheon in Korea.
And also Makati.
And Kuriku and Hall. Ooh, you went to the Philippines.
Yeah, Makati.
Fancy.
Otashi, the Ota gym.
Yeah, but that's like worse than Kuriku and Hall.
Is it really?
No, but kind of. It's bigger.
Andy Cruz
Anyways.
should. Are we taking this one at what, 7 and a hay?
I
have
don't
no
think Cruz
idea.
stops him. I don't know. I mean, Andy Cruz isn't really someone who fights for the finish. He only has 2 knockouts in his 5 fights so far. And he's Cuban. So, like, we'll see. I mean, if you're betting on this fight, I would bet Cruz via decision. That's probably a safe bet.
The Japanese tend to be hard to knock out.
Yes. Well, sure, we'll go with that fit. I don't know. Cruz just doesn't. He's not like a massive puncher. He doesn't really go for the finishes. He's kind of, well, he's got that Cuban style of like the fundamentals and like that, but he doesn't fight to really stop people.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And in the main event, Richardson Hitchens
Yeah.
versus George
First is a
Kambosos.
former Maxie Hughes victim.
Oh, when you put it like that.
Maxie Hughes should be fighting for the world title. I mean, it's just Players' Day now.
That's just it. That's just factual.
Factual information, yes. But
How does Kambosos keep getting these belt shots? Like,
he
what the
has a
fuck?
name and he signed with Matchroom. That's like the
How?
only reason. Look, he beat Jake Wiley. How many other top 140ers have beat Jake Wiley? Okay.
None, because he's never fought any of them.
But that therefore means that he is the only one to have beaten him. Therefore, I don't know. I mean, this is. I already know how this fight's gonna go. Like, if you
It's gonna
saw
be
either
terrible.
Haney 1 or Haney 2, you know how this fight's going. It's gonna be a wide unanimous decision for Hitchens. Everyone's gonna get a great night of sleep, and Kambosos will then go off and have a comeback fight where he'll win, look awful, and then somehow get another world title shot.
I don't.
These are facts.
You are speaking things into existence that I don't want to happen.
You already know. No, I know what's gonna
I know.
happen, okay?
I know you're
He's
absolutely
gonna, like,
right.
Yeah, he'll lose, and then later this year he'll make like a comeback fight. And given he's with Matchroom, and he already did the Bullet step down fight, he'll probably fight Padley. Look awful, win a robbery decision,
I
and
was
then
just
next year
about to
we'll
say
see him
Padley.
beat Hitchens too for some reason.
He's gonna fight Josh Padley.
Honestly, Padley would like. I'm not like he wouldn't stop Kambosos, but fuck me, he would
Pat-
outbox him for easily.
Padley beats Kambosos because Kambosos
Easily.
is a glorified domestic level fighter.
Yeah, he would not. I mean, he's a okay. He wouldn't fight Padley. He's at 140 now, but like still. Who actually do we have at one? I know we have like Dalton Smith, but that would be very risky for Kambosos as a comeback fight.
Sam Noakes.
He's with Queensbury, and he's also probably about to fight for the vacant WHL world title. So, yeah, we'll see. So if Hitchens goes to 20-0, because there's no real point discussing the fight, because we already know for a fact there's like a 1% chance Kambosos wins. Who does he fight next at 140? Because he obviously had the controversial win against Lemos, then beat Liam Powell. Now he's going to beat another Aussie bomb in Kambosos. Like, who does he fight at 140 next?
Who's Adam Azim with?
Boxer. And he's got a fight, as of the time of recording this,
He has something
tomorrow.
booked. Yeah.
Yeah, he's fighting on the Simpson undercard, which is, well, for me, today is the time of recording this. But that's some state busy fight. I'm not sure what he's doing next.
Assuming he
but yeah,
wins,
Yes,
and
which he should.
Richardson Hitchens wins, that lines
Yes.
up if you wanted to do American versus
The issue, I would want to see Azim get like a step up fight, because his only real test today was a shot to pieces Liberty. I mean, this is because he signed with Boxer, and they typically have their dudes fight art and nobodies. But like, yeah, I want to see him have that like step up fight before he goes and fights a Hitchens or whatever.
Steve Claggett fought Teofimo.
Don't you dare! Don't you even try and manifest Hitchens v Claggett.
That would not be fun.
No.
Hang on, let me have a look at the IBF 140 rankings quickly, because I don't actually. Well, because funny enough, I don't memorize this stuff because like it's not usually that important. But I can have a quick gander. Okay, 140, which
140
is
is pretty empty.
what is it? Yeah, junior welterweight. So Hitchens is the champion. Number 1 is Matthias. Number 2 there isn't one, and then number 3 is Kambosos, and number 4 is Paro. So Hitchens v Matthias, maybe.
Oh, that's right.
What
He's
would
in
happen?
the number 1 slot.
Yes.
That's a mandatory. It's going to get enforced.
Matthias
Hitchens will have
fights
to fight
soon,
Matthias.
doesn't he?
Subriel Matias has Puello booked for July 12th.
Which is a month after this fight, so the dates would work out well.
Yeah, assuming he wins.
Which isn't a guarantee.
It's not against Puello,
Yeah.
but
I mean, Matthias, we've seen, can have issues with a boxer like we saw in the Power fight, so
Right.
we'll see. Outside of those dudes, because obviously he's not going to rematch Hitchens, Paolo. He's not going to rematch Cambosis. Number 5 is Lindolfo Delgado. And then 6 is a guy called Karatin Agurba, who I've never heard of, but apparently he's Russian. And then you get to like Dolan Smith and Gabriel Venezuela at 8. So we'll see.
You could do a Mexican in Vegas. This is
See.
Lindolfo Delgado.
Yeah. Yes. I think Delgado's fighting on this card. Or at least I know
He's
something
fighting
like that.
soon. I didn't. Or he
Yeah,
fought recently.
it might be
one
on
or the
this
other.
card. No, that's Mercado. That's what I'm thinking of. Different person. Same kind of name, though. Let me have a look. Lindolfo Delgado. Yeah, he fought back in April. So, we'll see. But yeah, if Matias wins, I would imagine they make that a mandatory. That's probably the most realistic outcome here.
And it
Actually,
could be a unification. Could end up that way.
Yeah, I just checked. The Matias v. Puerto is a world title fight, I forgot. So yeah, that would be a unification type thing. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
When are they gonna give my boy Sandor his title shot?
His redemption.
When did he even last fight? Let me have a look. I don't
Against
Recently.
Puello. Yeah. Against Puello. And he
yeah.
almost, he
Wait,
was
what
pretty
card was that?
just pretty grimy,
that was
but
that
he
card.
almost won.
Yeah, I didn't watch that fight because I'm pretty sure I skipped most of that undercard. But yeah,
Honestly, Martin isn't that good to watch, but I
No.
enjoy it. So
and we'll see what he does. Is he in the IBF rankings? He is not.
no, he's in the other two.
Yes, so he wouldn't face Hitchens. I will say Hitchens v Martins would be, but let's be fair, probably quite a boring fight if that ever happened in the future. Yeah. So I lost it. Yeah, Ernesto Mercado is also on this card because we didn't mention him, I don't think.
Briefly.
He's actually fighting for an IBF belt, the IBF North American Super Lightweight belt, which Hitchens actually previously held. So there you go. He's fighting a guy called Jonathan Montrell. Never heard of him, but he lost an 8-round unanimous decision, 8-0 to Delante Johnson, who isn't that good. So, yeah, we'll see.
I wasn't expecting much out of Montreal.
Yeah. I watched. The only time I've really seen Mercado was his last fight against a shot to pieces Pedraza, but he looked pretty solid in that fight. Only 23, so probably got more to come.
He's probably the one they're pushing anyway. I doubt Montreal.
I mean, this is for an IBF North American belt, so like he could get pushed up into the IBF rankings with this.
Did I check?
I don't think
He's number 1 in the IBF International. Because they rank them separately. IBF does, and he's number 1 in that. And Montreal's not ranked.
Well, he should win. It would be a massive upset if he was to lose this fight.
Yeah.
So yeah, but he's got to get it done. So we'll see what happens. You never know in boxing. I mean, I thought Plant and Charlo were gonna win boring fights, and here we are. So.
Anything more for Matchroom on DAZN? Fucking clinch.
I don't think so.
A couple of prospects, but nothing I really recognize.
Yeah, it's always more like situations like this. Undercard is a little bit more where you want to pay more attention, just because the next big thing could be there.
Yep.
All right. Let me. You've been listening to Boxing Before Dark, a Lux Media production. If you are just dying to tell us how fucking casual you think we are, you can be a duck. You can text our anonymous line, 833-589-7637. If you want to stand on your business, call, leave a voice message, or send a voice note in WhatsApp. And if you're entertaining enough, you might make the final cut of the show. 833-LUX-PODS. If you prefer to hit us up on social media, the account name is LVX Media Net, all one word. It's the same on YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky, and all the rest of that shit. If you can't find us, chances are we're not on it. If you want to get yourself hooked up with the ad-free versions of the episodes and help us out a little bit in the process, look us up on Patreon, LVX Media Net. It's over there just like everywhere else. Even if you don't sign up on Patreon, you can still help us out by checking out our ad sponsors. You can also help by giving us a rating and a review on whatever app you're listening on. And don't forget, shop.lvx.be if you want to snag some threads. Intro and outro music by Middle of Nowhere Beats. And for more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lvxmedia.net. Do that. That's where the outro stuff goes. So, we're heading into one of the weekends of the year.
Yeah,
Parting
there's not
words.
much going on. I forgot to get parting words ready. Oh, instead of parting words, so this is recorded Saturday. Nakatani fights Sunday. It's tomorrow. I think I bought floor seats again. I'm pretty sure I fucked up, which sucks. But they're only $300. How am I supposed to know where you're seating me? Like, tickets are so cheap here.
That for floor seats is pretty cheap.
That's what I paid for floor seats at the Nishida card in Osaka. But I thought it would be raised seating in Tokyo. But I hadn't realized that it's not at Ariake Arena, it's at Ariake Coliseum, which is smaller. So now I think I have floor seats. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'll be fine and I'll be where I can actually see. But I also hate the floor seats because you have to walk by security every time you go buy beer and they look at you like you're a terrible person. Like, nobody in Japan drinks more than 2 beers at the fights, I swear.
Yeah, give me all of the beers, please.
Yeah, that's not... I recall the only time I went to a boxing event in the UK, I must have seen... I don't even know how many people get dragged out who were definitely intoxicated in some degree.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen in Japan, but... Anyways, the fights will still be good. I'll still be able to see. I'm 10 rows back wherever I am, so if I'm in the second set of floor seating, that's not bad. And people here are short, so I should be able to see.
Lynn, anything for your Florida Panthers?
Well, as of the time of recording this, it is game 2 occurring. It is currently tied at 1, about halfway for the first. We went up 1-0 and then conceded. So hopefully we don't go down 2-0 in a series. Or else, I'm not going to be particularly happy.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, then
Yeah.
The sun is going down. What did Mars rover say? God damn it! How did I forget already? My batteries are low. The sun is going down.
No, it's worse. My batteries are getting low and it is getting dark.
Excellent.
And I'm pretty sure that was like the last thing it ever said. Right?
It is.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
the last thing is. Its last words. That's what I got for parting words. Because that's the end of Boxing Before Dark. The sun is going down, bitch. Hope you're not allergic
And it
to
is getting
vampires. All right, we are out of here.
Bye.